So Adam and I, it all started with, we said we were going to actually have a movie night to get ready for this, because this is a very particular type of thing.
Victor's very uneducated about Hitchcock.
It turns out, my knowledge of movies only kind of goes back so far. I don't really have any exposure to, like, old stuff. So, first of all, on Facebook, they're like, okay, name a movie you've seen by Hitchcock besides Psycho. And I'm like, Wedding Crashers. And they're like, and
my response was, that means he hasn't seen Psycho.
Yeah, so he's like, all right, we're going to watch. All right, so he comes over, and first of all, he's like, well, I kind of looked in like 5 different stores, and the best I could do is I found Hitch, but you also found a bunch of short films, and we watched Rope on YouTube. Rope was awesome.
With Spanish subtitles.
So I learned some Spanish. But Rope was awesome, and we'll get to that later, but I just figured this whole story is kind of like not something I want in the main episode. But then, short films, okay, I have no idea. It almost seemed like it was a mistake that it was on the collection. What was that one called? It was like the 39 Steps?
Yeah, 39 Steps, that was it.
Oh, that movie went from plot to plot to plot. It was like, okay, so first it's about this guy who miraculously memorizes, like, all the information in the world.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. And then the plot was, suddenly there are like gunshots, and the whole theater, like, evacuates. And then suddenly it's, well, there's this random guy from Canada and this girl that acts really weird. And then we were excited. We're like, oh, okay, this is more like Hitchcock. Like, it's, there's something suspicious, and there's characters, right?
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, she's just like,
mid-sentence.
Like mid-sentence, out of nowhere, she's just like, I'm a secret agent. I fired those shots. And we were just like, okay, done. Turned it off.
Here's the twist. I actually had to read that book for the spy fiction class I took in college.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I bet it's better than the film.
I emphasize had to. Did not actually read it.
Nice.
So no one knows the story.
So you actually...
We all have a guess.
Spy story.
So you did exactly what we did. It was required reading for class, and...
You probably got to the exact same page when you said, this isn't working out
done.
for me.
All right, so our goal is that whatever we come up with, our listeners have to make it all the way to the end without just going, done, and stopping. So, but what I'm saying is we need to make it past Andrew's character description before they say done and turn off the episode.
Hey everyone, you listen to GenreBot, the group writing machine. I'm Adam.
Is this a suspense part?
Yep.
On the edge of my seat.
Who's on the edge of his seat?
No, who's on first?
We're doing really bad today, guys.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, no, all right.
Just like 10 seconds of dead air. Why?
That was
The suspense.
Yeah, Ian gets it. Come on, Andrew.
That's the twist. It's a podcast where no one's speaking.
Ooh.
Nothing needs to happen for something to happen. That's how suspense works.
Wow. Okay, I'm Vic, and for the sake of time, we're going to skip right to the next person.
I'm Andrew, the new Vic.
Nice.
And we have a special guest joining us from the A Matter of Taste podcast. It's Ian!
Hi.
Say hi, Ian.
I'm Ian.
Welcome.
Ian's favorite color is chartreuse.
And just like a character in an Alfred Hitchcock movie, I'm starting to second-guess my choices.
Perfect.
Oh, wonderful.
All right, so just real quick here, we've got to say, as our part of our normal format here, we pick a genre, we each come up with a character, and then we try to come up with a story. Only this time, it's going to be pretty interesting. We've got 4 characters. We've only done that once before. And this week it's a Hitchcockian thriller. And this was Adam's, right?
That's correct.
Right. Adam, why don't you tell us a little bit about Hitchcockian thrillers?
I will. You see, Hitchcock has been a staple of the modern American cinema
I thought he was
for
a director.
like 60 years. He's like, a staple is a different auteur.
He's speaking in tongues. It's just like that movie.
No, he's like a writer director. Like he's involved in like the whole.
This is
process.
a real low energy show, guys.
I'll pick it
All
up.
right,
I'll pick
pick
it
it
up.
up, Adam.
I got this. Hitchcock movies are all about suspense. Stabbing, the
fast
birds.
to extreme.
Psycho. Basically, he was paved the way for a lot of the modern tropes and the modern, I'd say, genres that we have.
Oh
nowadays
yeah, you
from,
wouldn't even have movies today if it weren't for Alfred Hitchcock. No sir. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh yeah.
North by Northwest.
Clarence,
Nice.
what's going on?
Influenced
Oh,
spy
yeah.
movies.
And I can attest to, while we're defining our genre in our extreme like radio show version, when I first heard this one last week, I thought, I don't know if that's a little too specific, but after watching a few and thinking about what I know in general about it, but I did a little bit of reading about it too, I do think this is unique enough to consider its own type of thriller. Like, it's definitely its own thing.
Exactly. There's a few kind of like very common tropes that happen in Hitchcock thrillers.
Yeah.
Things like there's usually a blonde lady, climactic twist, an innocent man accused, bottle movies. They only take place in one or a few locations. Untrustworthy characters, average people in dangerous situations, famous landmarks like Mount Rushmore, mistaken identity plots, MacGuffins. The way I describe the genre is very simply to Andrew, and I think Victor too.
The 6 words.
6 words. Ordinary people, murder happens, suspense ensues.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty fair.
I think the big thing is it's maybe not so much about twists as it is about just rising tension.
Oh, well, you haven't seen too much. There's usually at least a few solid twists in them.
Okay. Well, yeah,
and Ian, you're our horror knowledge guest.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say about the Hitchcock?
So, full disclosure, the only Hitchcock movie I've seen from beginning to end is Psycho. I've seen most of Rear Window, and I've been really wanting to see the rest of it, but I haven't had a chance to. And I got on Netflix today, and I was like, I'm going to watch more Hitchcock. There's no Hitchcock on Netflix except for Alfred Hitchcock Presents. So I watched a couple of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, which were kind of goofy.
A little Twilight Zone-y too.
Yeah, that
in a way.
There is a very particular style to Hitchcock. Like you were saying, there are a lot of very identifiable tropes to Hitchcock movies that have influenced so many different movies since then. Like someone being murdered in silhouette. I was watching the first episode of that Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and that happened.
yeah.
Right.
And the mistaken identities or like secret identity type things, the tension, also the use of like Bernard Herrmann's score for Psycho is definitely one of those definitive movie scores.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I would even say like some cinematography elements have probably been like influential throughout the years.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Victor and I watched Rope over the yesterday, and it was a lot of the camera itself acts like a character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was well, Rope in particular. I really liked that because that was just very well crafted, and it was. I mean,
I thought you guys were going to watch movies.
No, but it was like basically it was like 3 shots.
It was really well
Like,
tied together.
yeah.
Like it was made of a bunch of smaller strings. It looked like it could support like a lot of weight.
Precisely.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it's kind of like he hit like a home run on like every kind of field, as in like cinematography, writing, directing, and he always had this kind of twisted, dark sense of humor to everything that hopefully we can reenact with our characters.
Yeah, this one we're gonna have to really be on our writing game. So,
Yeah.
right.
Like a lot of Hitchcock comes in a lot of the style, the substance, what you see on the screen, but there's still a good writing kind of understores story to it. So I'll offer this up. Anyone want to go first with their character?
well, you're it's your thing, so you choose.
That's what I'm doing. I'm asking.
Volunteers.
No, this isn't a democracy. I say you pick.
I mean, it's my turn.
He
I
he
can't-
Okay,
decides
you know what?
that it's a democracy.
Then I decide that it's not a democracy. I will choose who goes.
Okay, fine.
I am
I'll
the
go
Tsar
first.
Yay.
John Rabat. Ian, you are the guest and
Okay,
you may go first.
Ian, you have to listen to him. I'll go first. Okay. All right. So, my character's name is Matthew Hall.
Matthew Hall.
Clearly a
Matthew
fake
Hall.
name.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I guess I make that joke
You know,
about real life
it's like he's like a
people,
Mr. Hall, but then you're like, no, please call me Matthew. I kept him pretty simple just to keep it because I feel like we could build him into the store if we need to, or keep him a side character. I wanted to make someone adaptable this time, so I just said he's a librarian.
Oh, okay. Is he a car?
Works.
Because this is a problem you've had lately.
Works. No, he's not a car.
That was a singular problem.
He's a human. His appearance, I specifically wrote him as like 50, like on the nose 50. Thin gray. He's thin guy, kind of grayish hair. Talks with a little bit of a stutter. Kind of.
This guy.
I picture him kind of sounding a little.
You've cast him.
So this is the Jimmy Stewart
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, basically Jimmy Stewart's been in 4 Hitchcock movies: Rear Window, The Man Who Knew Too Much, Rope, and Vertigo. Always kind of home runs. So I thought, hey, maybe we might have a home run if we say this guy's Jimmy Stewart. Books.
Okay, yeah, keep going.
And I only have one more line here that said, he had a wife once. just to keep it kind of vague in case we want to do anything with that.
So he's okay.
Simple character. Jimmy Stewart as a Matthew Hall, a librarian who had a wife once. All right.
Are you saying
Simple.
wife?
Wife.
Like with a W?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said life.
Right.
I'm like, wow, that's depressing.
No, he's not a ghost.
Okay.
And he's not like he may be a deadbeat, but he's not, I don't think he was trying to convey he had a life once.
No.
I can see that guy
Okay,
going
great.
a few different directions.
Yes,
Okay.
you can.
All right, that's
All right,
Adam's guy.
Andrew, you're next.
Andrew.
All right. My character is Anatoly Cybakov.
Wow.
Oh.
I think I actually got the first part. Anatoly?
Yeah, it's a Russian name.
Okay, what's the last name?
Cybakov. Anatoly
I thought you were.
Cybikov.
Cybakov?
You thought, yeah. You thought Cybakov
I thought you were
was...
spelling Cybakov with starting with the Anatoly. So you're like
It's pronounced with a silent Anatoly.
All right, tell us
Okay,
about Anatoly.
Alright, Anatoly Cybakov is a megalomaniac film director who is obsessed with editing his previous films. Very recently, a pair of mysterious gunmen came to his studio, claiming that he stole something of theirs, and insinuating that he is not actually Anatoly Cybakov.
Hold on a second. I got megalomaniac film editor obsessed with editing
You didn't get all that?
obsessed with editing his films, and recently somebody broke into his what? What happened?
A pair of mysterious gunmen came into his studio, claimed that he stole something of theirs, and insinuated that he is not actually Anatoly Cybakov.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And Andrew's characters are always so plotty.
He usually writes like another movie in their description. This one's a little brief,
Yeah,
and I like
well,
it.
it's-
No, I was very conscious of that because Adam pointed it. When our patterns are laid before us, suddenly.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh wait,
Alright.
I'm always the one that asks this. How old is he?
He is 117 years old.
That? Are you serious? Because I could totally work that into a Hitchcock plot.
Sure, I'm serious. Let's go with that. I was just doing that to
hang on,
spite you, but sure.
I know.
Victor doesn't know what he's talking about. All
know what? No.
You said,
Step
you
right
said
up.
37,
See the man
right?
who's 117 years old and doesn't look a day over 30. All right,
He's 13.
like younger than middle age, but like older than me.
He's played by Hayden Christensen.
Okay, so like
Yeah,
around
right.
35.
Yeah, however old he is.
Okay,
I'm
great.
guessing 35.
Let's keep this
That
train
sounds
rolling.
right.
Ian, who's your character?
My character. Can I just say really quick?
Yes.
My backup character, in case someone had already had something too similar to the character, like the first character I came up with. My backup character was an old librarian.
Oh, really?
They could have been
good.
Dueling librarians.
So it's a good thing that
Yeah,
dueling
by
librarians.
majority, we would be forced to have a
See,
librarian
just for
story.
that, while you're talking, I'm going to come up with a character that's just like your character.
Please do that. Go.
Oh, come on.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so Ian, who's your character?
All right. My character is Linda Albright. She is a young nurse, a caretaker who goes to the elderly and the infirm and takes care of them in their homes. And she learns about their lives and stuff, and then she incorporates their stories into a weekly serial she writes for the local paper under a pseudonym.
What's her pseudonym?
I hadn't come up with that, actually.
All right, Mandy, you need
I'm
all the
guessing it would
details.
be-
You're out.
I'm guessing the pseudonym would well, here was the other thing I was wondering was time period, which I don't know if this is the time to figure that out, but are we saying that Hitchcockian thriller, it takes place in the 50s or just in the style of Hitchcock?
Good question, because
We need to make that decision.
Yeah, let's hear Victor's character, then we'll get to that
Well,
right
what
away.
if the pseudonym is Bombshell? Because I'm gonna guess this person's blonde.
I don't think it's important at all. I just wanted to
well-
have a...
Yeah, I was actually going to say that her pseudonym is probably a male name, just because if it is like the 50s or something, then she would have a better
that
chance
makes
of
more
getting
sense.
I'll be honest,
stories.
before I go into my character, I like the idea of making it in the 50s because I think that would lend itself better to what we're all doing here. I'm not seeing anything that needs to be modern, and it would.
Librarians are pretty all around.
Plus,
that time.
I think we've been experimenting.
Film editor, same thing.
This season has kind of been all about experimenting with different time periods and stuff. That's so I think we should. That would be cool. Okay, so here's my character, and this is awesome because Andrew's character is a film editor. My character is Christine Montiero. She is very young, only 24. She grew up near Hollywood in a very, very wealthy, snobby family. And they always demanded greatness from her. They wanted her to go to, really great schools and become, real noble, whatever. But she was obsessed with becoming famous like all the movie stars. It's all she wanted. She wanted to be pretty, wear makeup and dresses, and wanted everyone to love her. And she is very intelligent, but never for a second did she actually do anything about it, because she doesn't think that that's how women get ahead in life. She just wants to be pretty and adored and loved and famous. So much so she's pretty much kind of desperate. She's really, that's just, she wants to become famous before she gets too old. No one's gonna care once I pass age 30 or whatever. While I'm young and pretty, the world needs to know me. So that's Christine.
Oh, I see.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm right now. I'm feeling a tug of war going on for protag,
All right.
but between our ladies.
Well,
The stage
'cause
is
those
set.
are those are two very kind of firm stories there.
Yeah, I could see my character kind of being sort of a supporting role. I might get killed off in the first act, actually.
Well, your character, and again, this kind of follows suit with what usually happens. I think your character is going to provide a lot of framework.
Yeah.
Because there's conflict.
Oh yeah, you've kind of stated the only specific conflict.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm seeing. Okay, we've got this film editor, who's got these quirks, and there's this accusation that he's an imposter. And at the same time, we've got this person obsessed with movie stars. So that brings two characters to the same place, at least. I think the other two characters, Matthew Hall and Linda Albright, are people that I can see running into each other. I can see the young nurse. She's a writer, and, I could see her spending time in the library and, maybe just, knows Matthew, talks to him, says hi all the time.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to say that Matthew's the only one that knows she's the one who's writing the newspaper serial.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're buddies.
That's cool.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, I have a great idea. what if, I don't know who would do it, but what if somebody tries to pitch one of her things she wrote as a movie?
I was going to say something like that. Like, she's been writing this serial for a while, and someone, maybe Anatoly himself, maybe someone else, is like, oh, this should be a movie, and so that's how she gets involved in the story. Christine wants to get cast in the movie.
So Anatoly could be like this producer-like character who's going to be real shady about, like, well, who's going to be in my movie and who's not, and and that could be a big thing, because there's conflict all over that. Linda's going to want it. Linda's going to want it to be like hold up the integrity of what she wrote. Christine's going to be desperate to be in it, and like I said, Matthew Hall can kind of be just like a supporting role for Linda.
Matthew's going to be like, Linda, you shouldn't go off to Hollywood like this. It never does any good for anyone.
That'll be the moral fiber. Because I'm already seeing a theme here of vanity versus intellectualism.
Right. Matthew Hall is a librarian. He's all for he's the intellectual side of things. Opposed to the vanity.
And I'm like a film editor. This is actually
all you do is take the vanity and put it up on. You take out the intelligence.
Exactly. This is actually a character that I rescued from the scrap heap all the way back from the ensemble episodes.
Ah.
Huh.
Nice.
So he was actually originally played by Hayden Christensen.
I see.
Nice.
All right, so you got him doing that stuff.
I based him on George Lucas, is what I'm saying.
I as soon as you said obsessed with editing, I'm like, bingo.
We got to make Albright work because she's a funnier character than we've had before. She's the key to all of this.
Who?
Oh yeah.
Is she?
Let's find out with story time.
Yeah, story time.
Which is already in progress.
Well, and I think I think another thing. I mean, back me up, because I don't want to talk like an expert when I really have limited exposure to it. I think I get the impression that it's all about just small time, like people that aren't that particularly different than you or me.
Generally ordinary people.
Yeah, like it's just yeah. So
average Joes.
Like the only person here that's really that remarkable would be Anatoly Sybikov, because he's, some sort of higher upper in the film biz. But I mean, even back in the 50s, it's like, running into that person would be a lot easier to do than today. So, okay.
Yeah, and I'm thinking early in the movie it has to be the events that Andrew describes. He's editing a film that was it stolen by mysterious gunmen?
Well, no, a pair of gunmen just burst into the studio and say that he has stolen something of theirs and insinuate that he is not actually who he says he is, even though he is, and then he kind of gets away.
All right.
What if...
Okay.
Andrew, are you against pushing that to, like, Act 2 or 3 of our movie?
That's fine.
I
do have claiming he stole something of theirs. That's me trying to work in a MacGuffin.
Well, that's I'm not saying that's what we should do. I'm saying I want that option to be on the table. That we can push that. Okay.
Speaking of MacGuffins and Hitchcock tropes, we should probably talk about the setting a little bit. Because usually it takes place in a condensed, not a big stretch of land or stuff like that. So are we in Hollywood? Because we have a film editor, an actress, and these two other people?
I'm thinking probably.
Are there going to be... Are there libraries?
His character could just have a huge chip on his shoulder. Like, this used to be a book read in town until those movie pictures came about.
I kind of love that idea.
Yeah, that's
not bad.
Actually, no, you could say that. Like,
all they do is watch.
And when Linda comes to him and she's like, "Oh, my story's going to be turned into a movie," he's just like, "Your story doesn't need to be turned into a movie."
What
do they got to do? Listen.
Kids used to read,
Maggie the frog is supposed to be a hideous witch. Why is she a hot person?
You'd look on the screen and you'd read the words and as they moved silently.
See, now I'm sad because we also watched Sabotage, which had a young boy on a train with a puppy, which, did the puppy have to be there? Like, that's, like, come on, Hitchcock. Like, come on.
I think he's very brave of a director to kill off a boy and a puppy.
Oh my goodness.
With a bomb.
With a bomb.
Ah.
A boy, a puppy, and a bomb. A movie by Alfred Hitchcock.
Nice.
Let's talk. All right, so we have these ordinary people in this setting, Hollywood, and now murder needs to happen.
Okay, I'm thinking, what if... Ooh, I've got an idea.
Go ahead.
What if one of the older people that this young nurse, Linda Albright, is talking to and has been looking after for quite a while now, ends up being murdered. And it's very mysterious because it's like, he's an old man. Like, who would want him dead? He just stays at home. Like, what's up with that? Then, suddenly out of nowhere, Anatoly Sibakov starts producing a film based on this person's life story.
Oh, yeah, because she wrote about that person specifically. That person dies, and for some reason, out of the blue almost, Anatoly says, like, this story should be a movie.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like, it's...
Oh, not
like,
that story,
it's...
This person's
Well,
story.
no, I mean, like, he's killed, and, like, simultaneously, like, it's not like this person read about it in the news and then decided. Like, it's like, too weird.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Weird coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, that's not
thing.
a bad idea. We could do something like that.
And Linda's totally blind to it. She's like, oh, that's amazing, that's awesome. And maybe Matthew's the one that tells her, like, that's peculiar, right?
Well,
this happened.
Yeah, it's another thing that it seemed like in these movies that characters are kind of oblivious to coincidence. They're like, oh, well, that's funny, huh? Okay, well.
Well, part of the issue there is that, again, since they formed so many of the tropes that we use now in modern day suspense and thrillers, like one of the Hitchcock Presents that I just watched was about this guy. He goes home and finds out his dad is dead, and everybody's being all weird, like, oh, you don't get to the bottom of this. You shouldn't find out what happened. And he's like, no, I need to find out what happened. And then at the end of the episode, he finds out, oh, he's actually been in a mental institution for the past 4 years. He killed his father.
Yeah. Some Twilight Zone-y stuff.
Which has been used in a bunch of different movies since then.
Oh yeah, I can name just a few off the top of my head that match that
1, 2,
plot.
3, go.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil them.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Good. Solid.
Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Oh man.
Okay. So are you saying that? Okay, this is sort of the behind the scenes look at what's going on in the story that the audience doesn't know yet, but we need to know before going forward.
We're in Act 1. We're into Act 1.
Yeah, Act 1, let's clean up here. Act 1, we need to be introduced to Linda and Matthew. And then
you see their relationship.
And then what's going to happen is she's going to discover that this man is murdered. And then we're going to meet Anatoly and find out that he's making this movie, and it'll be a happy thing. She'll be like, "Well, this is great. We'll honor his memory by telling his life story." You know, like nothing shady here whatsoever. And
yeah, we'll put a big in memory of at the end.
Right, and then Christine's going to come on into play because she wants to be in the movie. Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. So, if Christine's in the movie about this guy's, that was a story inspired by this guy, what role does Christine have in the movie?
I got it.
And I mean role
Linda.
as in... Yeah, what's up?
She plays Linda, the caretaker.
Oh, geez.
So Linda
like that.
Linda writes stories about her being a caretaker?
Well, no, like, it's because it's his life story, and for several years at the end of his life, he was, in, whatever, like, had to have a nurse. So, like, she's gonna play Linda, or maybe...
Okay, so yeah, I think the confusion we have here is we need to figure out, is the movie that Anatoly's making based off of, first of all, are Linda's stories she's writing in the paper based off this guy's life, and is Anatoly then basing it off of her story? Like,
Yeah, no,
Is there
I see what
two
you're
different
saying.
things
We have to
going
get
on
there.
here?
We have to
Actually,
get
all
that
right,
sorted
but you know what? I take it back. Now that I'm thinking, I think that no, I think she should be like his wife or something.
Maybe he was a veteran.
Yeah, like I'm thinking she should be like either. Well, remember she's an up and coming. She's definitely not going to be like the lead role. So maybe
No.
she'll be like she'll be playing like a World War II nurse or something or
Yeah,
something
that's not
small
bad.
time. Yeah, just because she wants to get her feet wet, and so so that could maybe be it. And even that kind of works because Linda's a nurse, so and since she'll be on set anyway, they could. For some reason I really want those two to interact.
Yeah, or Christine's learning nurse stuff from Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, so, here's what I'm thinking. We should probably come up with a name for the guy that died just so that we can...
this is the
just
best
for
part.
simplicity's
Victor, come
sake.
with a letter.
Oh yeah, I love these. K.
Andrew.
17 S.
A name that starts with K, Andrew.
I already have Kevin in my notebook for my backup character.
All right, Kevin.
Kevin.
All right, it's Kevin.
Kevin.
Good job, Andrew.
He needs
Kevin
a last
Braden.
name. What's his last name?
Okay, Ian, give me a letter, and I'll get your last name.
Yeah, no, you're gonna laugh because it's Kevin Braden, and the other thing I had besides him being an old librarian, which we already have Matthew now, so it doesn't have to be a librarian, was he used to be in the military, and he has stories about the
Boom.
war.
Oh my
That's
God.
it. We got it.
Man, you're only supposed to bring one character.
Well, now he has two. Well,
You came up with
this
a librarian.
this character's
so-
dead anyway.
Yeah, no, I
this
got
character's
it.
dead.
Pulling double duty.
But yeah, so here's what I'm thinking, and if you guys have a different idea, then stop me or say,
By all
okay, that
means.
works, but let's
Stop.
do this different. I'm thinking, okay, Linda was the caretaker for Kevin, and he would tell her stories about the war, which she turned into this serial in the newspaper. And the serial was kind of fictionalized, kind of drawing on stuff from his life, and she inserted herself kind of as a character into the fictional story as a nurse. And so we get the whole Christine gets to play Linda's character in the story.
I
It's not
love
necessarily
it.
the main
I love
character,
All right.
but she's in there. And so,
guys, I'll be right back. I need a doorbell.
Oh, okay.
All right.
okay, should I wait until he
pause.
comes back?
We do this. We'll just cut this out later.
Okay, yeah, because I have other ideas.
Don't pause the actual recording though. Just let it run.
No, yeah. We just wait. Yeah.
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 Now I play the waiting game.
So how about them werewolves?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
You'll find out. You'll find out about that.
Believe it or not, I just got a mysterious package from my neighbor.
No way.
That is a Hitchcock
You are
movie
you are
waiting to
living
happen.
it.
I mean, it's my router.
Oh.
It just came yesterday, and
Oh,
I wasn't
Well, then
here,
why
so
is
he
it
picked it up for me.
mysterious?
It's a haunted router.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Back in action here.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You're
So-
about to enter a Wi-Fi zone.
So Linda wrote this story. Kevin dies, and it sort of comes out of that, people asking about his death, that it comes out that, Linda has been writing this story about him and stuff. And, like you were saying, Vic, with, sort of very strange timeliness, Anatoly just, jumps on the story and is like, hey, we should turn this into a movie. And, Linda's like, awesome, but Matthew's like, it's not like you were writing, it's not like your story is huge, read countrywide. Why is he suddenly interested in making it into a movie?
Yeah, it's too small time. Why is this guy paying such close attention to this? You know.
I just had a really good idea that you guys might want to pick up on. Okay. So what if, in Kevin's stories to Linda, he gave away some information or something? Maybe he was involved with a secret unit of some type. Some kind of super sensitive information that she didn't know that was not supposed to be known by
Can I be
everyone.
selfish for a second?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's not bad, but there's actually something I was really hoping this would build up to, and it doesn't work with that.
What do you have? And then we'll vote.
Okay. Well, I guess I want there to be a twist, and it's like Ian said earlier, we have to know the twists ahead of time in order to write it.
Yeah, definitely.
Christine is desperate to become a famous actress. I think that she's the one pulling all the strings. She killed this man so that the story would blow up, so that it would be more significant and more people would want to see it.
Jesus.
And she gave Anatoly the idea. In fact, I'm thinking she might even have, because they say he's an imposter, she may have even kidnapped Anatoly and put someone in there that will make sure she's in the movie.
Oh yeah, and just brainwashed someone.
Well, and that's the whole reason the gunmen are there. The gunmen are a red herring. Like, I think we can still incorporate what Adam was talking about. Like, there's moments where we think the whole reason that like this production is under threat by stuff is because of the gunmen. We think that there's something having to do with the old war stories and stuff like that.
Yeah,
the gunmen have come along to like do something. Hold on, give me a second. My brain is running too fast.
Yeah, no, something.
I've gone cross-eyed.
You could use the plot I described almost as a MacGuffin in that sense.
Yeah, and so while we're watching it, the audience is thinking like, oh, these gunmen kill, or like, either these gunmen killed Kevin or Anatoly killed Kevin, and now the gunmen are coming after Anatoly, but really it's Christine trying to further her movie
the whole
career.
thing is because she was desperate for this movie to take off, for everyone to care about it, and for her to be a star. So...
And she's like a huge fan of Linda, so when she gets cast as the nurse and stuff, she is genuinely excited about it, and that's the whole reason that she thought to kill Kevin in the first place, is she's been an avid reader of this serial, and so she's like, this is the way I gotta do it, this is the way I'm gonna start my career.
I want there to be a real dichotomy here, where Christine and Linda are actually not that different, because they're both very intelligent and very talented, but Linda does things for the greater good and writes, and like she ends up being the person who lives on, and and Christine just was too vain, and she's gonna end up just kind of going down in flames. I really like that idea.
But as per Hitchcock, that usually won't happen until like the very last.
Oh yeah,
minutes.
yeah. No, that is the finale. Like that. Yeah. That's why I was trying to not say it. Like I thought of that a while ago.
No, I got the Hitchcock chills when you.
Yeah, that's why I thought of it a while ago, and I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna try and save this until the right moment. Yeah.
All right. Wow. No, that's a lot of really good stuff.
Yeah.
But I think there might be room to enrich this with Michael. I'm not sorry, not Michael. Matthew.
Yeah, he's underused here. Yeah. I think he should, like I said, he could be like a moral fiber, like a, like whenever he talks, it's something that's almost kind of like to the audience, like.
Yeah, like I said earlier, maybe he was suspicious that it was picked up. Maybe he's the one that's kind of doing some investigating on his own because he has the resources of the library at his disposal.
Yeah,
perhaps that means he has access to more information.
Mm-hmm. And you got like detectives coming in using the microfiche and stuff, and so he's somewhat familiar. Maybe he even thinks of himself as like an amateur detective of some sort, and then he gets in too deep, and Christine kills him.
That's what I was about to.
That's not.
Yeah,
that's not
stuff.
Bad. Like
Matthew
like
dies.
Act 2 finale, he dies, and now suddenly it's like, okay, one death is that's one thing. This is like too coincidental.
Yeah, this is when Linda's like, there is something really bad going on
something about
right
his
now.
death needs to be really suspicious. Like he dies, and like in his hand is like a newspaper with one of her cereals or something like that.
I was gonna say a newspaper, like he dies on top of a newspaper, and it's soaked with the blood so that you can't see which one it is.
Oh.
Yeah, like so you don't know what he was looking at that killed him, or not that killed him, that someone killed him for.
Remember, reading kills.
Also, what is it that they say Anatoly stole? I want to make that work somehow. Because so far we've got it all figured out. He is an imposter. Like, everything's coming together. It's just like, but what is it? Who are the gunmen, and what did he steal? We need to figure that out.
Well, they're hired by Christine.
Like, I really
somehow,
like the idea of the gunman being a red herring, and it's like people thinking that they're somehow tied to Kevin's background in the military. But what they're actually doing is they're actually trying to get to the bottom of Kevin's death.
The detectives, in a way?
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know if detectives necessarily, because I like the idea of, like, them possibly seeming like Russian spies or something at first, and it's like
Could
by
be.
the end of
Oh, dude!
could be
Oh my
just
God!
FBI
This is
coming down
actually
from the
way
government.
simpler than it needs to, or we're making it way more complicated than it needs to be.
okay.
Good, it needs to be way
he
simpler.
stole
Yeah.
Anatoly.
Oh, okay. And it's like vague, and you
Mhm.
can't really tell that they're talking about a person.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, my brain again is moving too fast for me to come up with words. Someone else talk.
Andrew,
Yeah,
We're
Andrew.
saying they're like Russian agents, maybe. So it's pretty. They don't speak very good English, so it's not very.
I mean,
right.
I just said Russian because of the name Anatoly Sybikov.
That's not Russian at all. What are you talking about?
I like the idea of it, like, again, since this is taking place in the 50s, sort of having, like, that Russian scare thing of, like, oh, of course it's the Russians, and it's like, no, the Russians are
You're
actually
right.
the good
This
guys
is
in
this is working out as a perfect red herring.
Right.
Like I think
Yeah.
the twist at the
Yeah.
end that it's
a red
well,
herring.
and that's
Oh.
I would say leave, but this isn't my
Adam,
podcast.
get out. No, wait, you're the host.
Adam,
a red scaring.
Well, what I was saying is, Christine is, this was in my character description, she intentionally avoids, like, appearing to be too intelligent because she thinks that in order to be famous, she just needs to be a pretty face. And that, she's gonna be the ultimate twist at the end. Like, oh my God, she's the murderer. Like, oh, that's, you'll never see it coming, especially with all this misdirection with the whole Russian thing, the gunman, Anatoly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, like, the gunmen need to be threatening the theater. Like, don't show this movie. Like, this is a lie, all of it. Or something, and at the end it needs to come about that, yeah, it's because Christine kidnapped Anatoly, this other guy's an imposter, and it's all just a coup to get her to become famous.
You know what, Victor? It just struck me. Christine, and this is the second time you've done this, she's remarkably similar to an antagonist from season 2 of Agent Carter. This is the second time you've accidentally stolen from a Marvel TV show.
Christine. Oh, you're saying like
honestly,
the character right now, like the blonde girl, kind of.
Yeah, the blonde girl
Okay.
who wants to be an actress, but she's secretly
No,
behind the scenes.
she is an actress. She wants to be like a
Yeah.
politician.
Well, right.
That's almost kind of backwards. Like, I see what you're saying. They're both very smart, but everything else is backwards.
I'm just glad we established they're both blonde.
Right.
Like that's,
Well, no, like the thing is, they're both very
Checking off my
pretty.
list.
But like the character from Marvel was raised to believe that being pretty is all she could ever do. She wanted to use her.
Oh, so you have seen this.
I'm watching Agent Carter.
Nice.
I don't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's garbage.
It's
No.
it's recyclable. I'll still throw it away, but in a different bin.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, what was the other one?
well, we have 4 characters. I think Matthew's dead by now. Anatoly. What are we going to do with Anatoly's replica, his duplicates?
I think.
All right, I think we've gotten pretty safely through the first 2
Let's
acts.
see who this guy
let's
really
climax
is. And it's Matthew. Huh?
I just imagine a scene with Anatoly and Christine, like fake Anatoly and Christine, and they're watching like the dailies from the film, and both of them are just looking at it and they're like, "This is never going to work. You're a terrible filmmaker.
Yeah.
This doesn't look anything like Anatoly's real
So
Why
life."
are
like
there
that, like-
giant lizards walking around in the background?
His editing's a little off.
Why is there a weird CGI Marlon Brando in this movie that he was never in?
I could say maybe in the second act, maybe in the second act somewhere, there's a part where he was showing a test footage to, you get it.
Oh wait, I have another idea. What if,
So-
as an added twist, what if Christine and Anatoly are like facading as husband and wife, but they're really just partners in crime? Because then it makes sense. The producer's wife is going to be in the movie.
I don't know. That might be one layer too deep.
Yeah, I think it's actually. I think they it makes more sense if they try to play it off like they have not known each other before the production starts. And Christine really is just because again, Linda, the nurse character, isn't like the main character in the movie, so it's just like okay, we're bringing this like up and coming as a special
and then there can
actress.
be that weird Hitchcock kind of like they throw glances at each other, and it's like, wait, what? Like, do they know each other? Yeah.
Yeah, but Partners in Crime, I like that idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's, like I said, the whole thing is, Christine's pulling all the strings, man.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
And
it all comes
got
together.
Like 10 minutes here to...
Oh, well, actually, the first 10 minutes were ruined bits.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah, the first 10 minutes of this are just opening bits that didn't work.
I know. We're at about an hour. That's why I'm saying, like, we got at least 10 more minutes.
I'm at 50.
Okay, so here was an idea that I had. The gunmen are actually like old war buddies of Kevin, and that's why they care so much about this.
That was bothering me. Who are the gunmen?
I got a second, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. No need to bless. All right.
Well, they would have to be old guys. Well, you know what? How about instead of him being like 80 in their 80s, he could just be...
Well, yeah, and like I said, Linda, the people she was taking care of weren't necessarily elderly. They could just be people who are like house ridden, and so it might be that
maybe he lost a leg.
Like wounded.
Yeah, he lost a leg.
No, everybody
loses
like a leg. Let's say he lost.
And that's another thing that makes
leg.
He got shot in the chest, but his heart was on the other side.
It's not really important necessarily what his injury
Ninja
was,
Assassin in World War I happened.
His heart is special.
It also makes Matthew more suspicious when Kevin dies. He's like, he wasn't that old. Why is he dead? Or that's another thing. Like, did they try to make it look like he died naturally, or like had a heart attack or something, or is it like definitely
just naturally shot in the chest?
Oh,
I don't want to go all Shakespeare and be like, oh, he swallowed fire. It's like
no, yeah. In Hitchcock, it's usually definitely a murder.
Yeah, like it's definitely knife,
But I'd say you might want to put him safely at kind of 50 plus, a little bit more over.
Wait. This is
300 years old.
Wait, I'm a little bit more excited about this than I think is warranted. But what if the details of the murder are suspicious because of his injury? Like, let's say, okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Maybe he's like missing. Hold on, like maybe like missing his. Let's say he's missing a leg. Okay, fine, whatever. And let's say that he still keeps one of his like pistols from the war in his nightstand, and let's say like the telephone is like on the other end of the room, and let's say that like he dies. I'm trying to think, like, something that it's weird, like, how did he hop all the way over to the telephone from the nightstand?
I just got an idea.
Go ahead.
If Christine was the one that killed him, and Christine is playing Linda's character, when Christine shows up at night, he thought it was Linda.
Oh, she's already starting to play. She was already playing Linda before the movie was even started.
She got the role so well. She was studying Linda. That's why when she was doing her writing, she was studying how she full on character like submersion, like what David, that guy does that played Lincoln.
Yeah, that guy.
And there could even be like a few really short moments early in the movie where like Linda's going around her daily life, and like if you watch the movie again and look in the background, you can see a woman with like sunglasses and a hairnet on or something like that, and it's Christine
like all the time. Like the baker says like, "Oh, in for something else," and she's like, "What? Oh no, I'm sorry, I thought you were someone else." Like little things like that.
I'm sorry. This is. Okay, I will not say this story if the answer is no. Has anyone here watched BoJack Horseman?
No, haven't seen enough.
You've shown me a bunch of it.
Yeah, you've also shown me a bunch of it.
You've also shown me some of it.
Quite frankly, we're disappointed, Victor.
Alright, well, I'm not gonna say it. This is reminding me, of something where this happened, where like they're making a movie about like the characters on the show, and it's all...
I remember that episode.
I'm sorry. No, that's it. Should move on.
Okay, so we are in the third act.
That was a Homiakian tangent right there.
So it seems to me like Linda's definitely the protagonist of
Yes.
this right now.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so this third act is basically got to be her getting to the bottom. Like, second act ended with Matthew dying, and so this is where she's like, okay, now I need to get to the bottom of this.
Mhm.
And so she's got to somehow figure out what's going on. Maybe she tries to track down the gunman and finds out from them that they're like, oh, they're not actually the ones who killed Kevin. They're trying to like,
Yeah.
respect his memory or something by like finding out who really did kill him or
Oh
whatever.
my gosh.
Maybe she's like,
I've got
yeah,
something.
go ahead.
How about the movie's got to be in full swing? And she's obviously upset and everything about Matthew and confused and suspicious and whatever. But there's got to be something, maybe like she's walking home one night from the theater or something shady, and suddenly the gunmen come out and corner her, and you're like, oh no, and they reveal themselves, and she looks right at one of their faces and recognizes him from a portrait of one of his old war buddies.
Mm.
And she's
Okay.
confused, like, oh my gosh, like, it's been you. What are you doing? Why are you terrorizing us? And then,
And she's like, it still doesn't make sense. But while she's meeting with Christina, she's been doing just off and on throughout the movie, off and on throughout them working together. And then she's like, it still doesn't make any sense. Maybe she goes to confide in Christine.
and then there could be the whole, like, she has the knife, and, like, at this point, maybe maybe at this point you know that it's her because you, like, they've revealed it or whatever.
Maybe they haven't even revealed it yet. Maybe all the pieces are just coming together. But basically, Linda's describing everything to Christine, and she's like, I think someone's... maybe she suspects Anatoly.
Mm.
Like,
Oh.
and so she goes to confide with Christine about Anatoly. It's like, we have to do something. And Christine's like, no, wait, before you go to the police. And then she, like, locks the door, and she's like, I'm not sure. Help me out here.
I think this has to do with, like, okay, let's say, maybe how did she kill the guy? Stab? Like, we're gonna do knife killings, or
Poison?
she's not gonna be strong enough. She's not gonna be strong
Asphyxiation.
I
enough
was
to
going
do
to say,
that. I'm thinking either
asphyxiation.
knife or gun,
Like,
but gun is
She
too loud.
Pillowed him? No,
I was going to say
that's
poison.
Nah, I don't
I was gonna say
like
pillow.
those.
Fill them up with
Puts the
cocaine.
pillow in the face. Can't breathe anymore.
Maybe.
I've never seen that.
Snuffs him out like a candle.
But he's a dude.
You know, in my
He's
experience,
injured,
that
but
doesn't
he's-
work that well, Adam.
I mean, it's less than
What?
a decade since the war. He's
No.
gonna be a strong guy. Like,
Yeah, but he catches him off guard. She remember, like I said, he mistakes her for Linda,
yeah, but
so
Wait,
she can get
guys.
close enough.
It's got to be a gun. If they're gunmen and we're using the gunman as a red herring, then it's got to be a
Okay,
gun.
gun. You got it.
that's
Bingo.
true.
In my
I'll go back
in
to
my
Although we
personal
can keep-
experience, gunmen normally have guns.
Although we can keep your idea, Adam, and have the old, like, put the pillow over his head and then, like, put the barrel of the gun into the pillow so it muffles it.
Yeah, or maybe possibly the gun wound is like she shoots him after she's already asphyxiated him or something to make it look like the gunman did it.
Well, that would come
Oh.
out in the autopsy. You got to cover
Yeah,
your tracks.
and
You're
that's-
a poor murderer.
Oh,
That's yeah.
50s autopsy.
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I'm wondering: is it like, is it the sort of thing where, like, in this time period they wouldn't have investigated further, or like, would there be a moment further on down the line where the guy comes back with the autopsy and it's like, it wasn't the gunshot wound, and then
But potentially.
I don't know.
Oh, they're putting the pieces together later
Actually,
on.
I
But,
think.
yeah, we gotta.
Okay, maybe this is a little bit more Hitchcock. His bed doesn't have a pillow, and then at some point, Linda finds the pillow with, like, the hole in it or whatever, and then it's like,
Mm.
oh, like, and it's just enough of a clue to put doubt and to realize, it wasn't the gunman, or I don't know, because
That does make sense that he wouldn't have a pillow because he's a war vet. They talked about that in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, my favorite Hitchcock movie.
All right, but guys, we gotta wrap this up. We gotta get to that
Okay.
that climax. What's happening?
Yeah,
How's it going
that
down?
I think the finale, the climax is like that whole bottle story type, not bottle story because the whole movie isn't a bottle story, but that whole bottle thing of Linda goes to confine Christine. Christine locks the door, and it's like she's definitely about to kill Linda or something.
Yeah, Linda finally puts the final pieces together.
I think the gunmen.
Like,
gunmen need to finally either kill or capture or something Anatoly. So the ground's shrinking beneath Christine's feet, and she's again desperate, wants to shut Linda up. So she's bearing down on her, and then I think the gunmen need to kind of save the day. They swoop in, and.
Well, I don't know if I like the gunman saving the day though. I think I like what you were saying about the gunmen that capture fake Anatoly, and I like the idea that they're so preoccupied with that because they after talking to Linda, they all think that it's Anatoly who killed Kevin, and so they go to capture fake Anatoly, and they're preoccupied with that. So it's just Linda and Christine in this apartment or whatever, and so it's up to Linda to save herself.
I'm trying to think how Hitchcock would end this.
She has to. He would definitely use a Chekhov's gun. Something that we've established earlier about Linda that she can use in this final confrontation to get the edge on Christine.
I've got something. Maybe this happens on set, and it's a replica of Kevin's bedroom or something, and maybe his pistol went missing after the murder, and because she's just messed up this way, she has the pistol as a set piece.
That's how in character she wants to be. She helped the production design.
And then that could be Linda. See, because it's a battle of who because Linda knows she wrote it. So she knows, oh, he always kept his pistol, here. And that, so, she manages to...
And she realizes that Christine is that accurate.
Yeah, something like that. I know...
Yeah, she puts together the pieces, and she's like, oh, he has a gun. So Chekhov's gun is a gun.
Well, it's not perfect, but I just thought it's something to get the ball rolling here.
No, I like that.
I think it's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
But
and so Linda finds there's some sort of cat and mouse through this set, and Linda finds the gun and musters up the courage to shoot
I'm thinking
Christine.
She gets shot. She's a character with nowhere else to go.
Now, hang on. It's not very Hitchcocky to end with just a few bullets, unless it's one of his spy thrillers. What if... I don't know. I think I'd sooner have her shoot lighting up ahead. Above them, something swings down, falls near her, towards her. Somehow, Christine
oh my gosh.
undoes herself. What's up?
You're saying this, and I'm just thinking poetic justice. The spotlight literally kills Christine.
Oh,
yes, yes.
And then, oh man, and then that could be.
And it's like Linda was actually trying to shoot Christine directly, but she's so inexperienced with a gun that the shot just goes really wide,
some rope,
and so Christine thinks that, and some part of the set, it doesn't necessarily have to be a spotlight, but something about the movie set kills Christine, and so it's sort of like a poetic justice type thing.
She shoots the rope, and a sandbag comes down, and that shakes the curtain, and then the spotlight falls down.
Yeah, a series of stuff like that.
Some kind of Rube Goldberg murder machine.
Kind of,
and by this time,
Back to the Future 2-y, but I like it.
And by this time, the gunmen have captured Anatoly, and Anatoly spilled everything to them that it was Christine. And so, right after Linda kills Christine, that's when the gunmen and fake Anatoly come in, and it's oh, what just went down here? And we get the whole denouement thing from there.
Very brief denouement.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty good. Unless you guys want to end with just a little different notes.
Done.
Did you say that because you have something in mind, or?
Yes. Have you guys seen Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah.
I think it was a while ago.
I haven't.
Okay. So, for some reason, that kind of doesn't have to need to do anything with this. But
Okay.
Good, because I haven't seen it, I was lying.
We've been talking about their resemblance ahead of time. A lot about that.
Mm-hmm.
What if somehow we work into the climax that the gunmen mistake Linda for Christine? I'm not saying they gun her down in the end, but I'm saying we could add another little sprinkling of suspense at the end there of them.
Oh, wait, actually...
so you end the movie.
Actually, I have an idea. This is building off of what Adam just said. what we already established, okay, so like Christine has a knife, Linda somehow gets her hand on a gun. What I'm thinking is pan out, or maybe just have silhouettes or something, and you hear bang, but we don't see what happens. And then the gunmen, they're like rushing to get there, they're trying to, like wrap this all up, and like you said, maybe like they see someone, and you assume that it's Linda, but then you see that it's actually Christine, and it's like, oh wait, but I thought I heard a gunshot, like she's supposed to be dead, and then that can be like when the spotlight falls down and gets her or something.
And Linda like gets up, it was injured in some way or something like that. Yeah, okay, but like I said, just a little sprinkling of that identity stuff at the end would make it all the sweeter.
Hmm.
All right. I love it.
Let's pull this puppy into the station.
Yep. Let's 5-minute limits to naming
Puppy
it.
Station.
Oh, geez.
Puppy station.
Yep.
I have actually two. I've been trying this lately. When I know that like, okay, we're starting to wrap up, I try to start thinking of names early. I've got two in mind. One of them, again, they're both very generic sounding, but back in the 50s, they would sound fresh. I've got, The Role of a Lifetime.
Oh, that's good.
Because Christine, that's going to be Christine's thing, I can see her saying that all throughout, like, oh, it's perfect, everyone will love hearing the story, and...
Yeah, and it's pretty good, because it kind of encapsulates...
Yeah, and also it's like the role of a lifetime. It rolls, and then the lifetime rolls away,
and
because someone got murdered.
Well, and also because Anatoly is somebody who's faking being Anatoly, and because Christine's trying to act like Linda, and there's all kinds of...
Yeah, that sums
She's
up
actually
very well.
in the role of a life.
The other one is because
So
Hitchcock tends to have like one-word titles. I thought understudy, but that's not as good.
It doesn't really work.
It's okay,
as well.
but it doesn't blow me away like the first one did.
It's a great title for another movie, not this one.
Yeah,
Stay
that sums
tuned,
up
John
pretty
Robot
well.
listeners. No.
Hitchcock round 2 next week.
Oh man, no. All right. Well,
No.
like I
Okay,
said, put a
good
pin
one.
in that. But let's see if we can come up with any more.
I don't think we can get any better than that.
I like The Role of a Lifetime.
Really?
The Role of a Lifetime.
Wow.
The role of a lifetime. Is that spelled like
1 minute?
acting role or like
I think
Yeah,
it's spelled acting role.
ROLE.
or like a
The role of
delicious
a lifetime.
buttery piece of bread?
Tagline?
Does
A
Hitchcock do
delicious
that?
buttery piece of bread.
A part ... to die for.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Good job, Ian.
I don't.
You knocked it out of the park this
Taglines,
week.
I think, are more of a modern thing.
No, Hitchcock had
Did
taglines.
he?
Yeah. If anything,
yeah.
they're less of a modern thing. Like Jurassic Worlds. This
Time the park's open.
This time
The
we're
park's
doing
open.
it
Yeah,
again.
the park's open.
Yeah. I mean, if you would have picked any other like modern movie, I would have not known it. But that one's
It's really...
that one's kind of noteworthy.
Return to the King.
Is it just like...
the king comes back?
The King's back.
Yep.
Can we just say that like it's an obligation for every sequel's tagline to be "It's happening again"?
Yeah, let's
Because
just
that's what it seems like.
let's set that as the default.
I
and
thought
just
that
work
second
back from
movies
there.
had to be "This Time It's Personal."
Oh,
That's fourth
that's the
movie.
other one.
Well, wait,
Yeah.
hold on a second. I actually think it's A Part to Die For or whatever it was is pretty good too, because that's going to make you think that Christine is the one that gets killed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah.
It's another MacGuffin.
So hold on, is it?
Yeah,
That's
we
not a
know the
MacGuffin.
tropes.
That's a red herring.
A red
A
herring.
red herring.
A red herring is like a MacGuffin. That doesn't
the role.
make its
So wait, hold
fall
on. The
through
Role of a Life.
in
What's
the
our
wrong
tagline?
direction.
The Role of a Lifetime. What?
A part
A
to die for.
part to die
Dot, dot, dot.
for.
To die for.
And that was our episode. Yay!
Yeah.
I just want to start by saying thank you so much, Ian. You kind of you really contributed a lot to the episode. Like you
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you for having
down
me.
need to have
with
you back
Ian.
sometime.
Thank you. I know
Yeah,
we're all pretty busy, and just the three of us scheduling is tough sometimes. So a fourth one, it's always like, ooh, I hope it works out. But thank you so much for being here. So
No, I had a lot of fun. That was
yeah,
that was really
we
fun.
somehow managed to create something substantial out of all of our just bullcrap and nonsense.
I don't know how it was going
and
to happen.
fairly
I know,
Hitchcockian.
yeah, like it actually kind of holds up. That's pretty good.
We did it good, guys. We did it good.
We all, guys, we're no longer a genre bot. We're a genre team.
Oh my god.
So if you want to send an email to Genre Team, you can send a podcast.genrebot@gmail.com.
I don't really know how that's better than a bot, but like, whatever.
You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/genrebot, twitter.com/genrebotpodcast. You can find us on Stitcher, Spreaker, iTunes, Omni. If you leave us a review on iTunes, then we'll read it on the show.
Ooh, we have like
What?
3 left, right?
You
There
two,
are-
Victor, Andrew,
there
why don't you,
are 3
you
left.
both pull up one as...
I do want to read all 3, just because there's a dichotomy between the last 2 that I want to,
Well, and
that I want to
and
mention.
also because there's only 3 left. Like,
Yeah.
let's just wrap it up.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, I don't have it open.
Okay, well then we can just read.
We'll take turns.
Alright, fine. I'll go
Yeah,
first,
guys go
then
back and
Victor,
forth.
and then me again.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys do that, then Ian, we'll give him a plug at the end.
Alright.
Alright?
Right, this person gave us a
Go ahead.
5-star review, so I'm going to give them a bit of an intro. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Girl FM headline news reports the hosts take their time crafting characters. It is really interesting to hear their creative process. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. More at 11.
Nice.
Thanks
yes,
a lot.
thank you.
Thank you, Girl FM headline news.
The next one says Nerding Out by Bad Driver 9599. It says great podcast for nerds, and I'm loving it. Which, it's funny because a lot of our reviews say that. They say like, oh, it's great for nerds. And I'm like, well, I mean, I read comic books and play video games, and I feel like if I was going to go maximum nerd, it would be like way worse. But
Oh yeah.
but I mean like no, I take that positively. So thank you.
One of these episodes, we should just go maximum nerd somehow.
Oh,
we'll figure it out.
We will. I've
No,
been
maximum
holding
listen,
back.
that's the
I wanted
problem.
us to build a good foundation first.
Yeah.
We will.
Because what we would do is Pokemon movies, and no one would.
Oh, yeah, that would be so bad, but great.
All right, last one,
All right,
Andrew.
Last
Exactly.
review, by the Whiskey Effect. Love it. It's like Dungeons and Dragons if it were way less nerdy and just about storytelling. Definitely enjoyable.
Wow.
So people are divided.
Well,
This is a
no,
very-
because it's still saying like, oh, it's like that thing that has become the most stereotypical nerd reference in the world, but a little bit less nerdy. So
All right.
Oh, okay, so maybe this isn't as much of a dichotomy as I thought.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Okay. So before we announce the topic for next week, Ian, do you have anything to plug besides your? Talk about your podcast so people know.
hey.
Yes, I co-host a podcast called A Matter of Taste with our friend Theo. We talk about horror movies, horror TV shows. It all started because of the Hannibal TV show, but that is sadly no longer on the air. Besides that, we've talked about the Alien movies. We've talked about The Walking Dead, Constantine, comic books, video games. Basically, if it's horror related, we talk about it. We just did an episode on The X-Files, actually, because there was that 6-part event series thing. Next month, we're hopefully going to be talking about The Witch. So, yeah, if you want to find that, if you Google A Matter of Taste podcast, you should find it. We're Matter of Taste podcast.
We're going to put a link
on
Yeah.
Tumblr, Blogspot, Facebook, and we're at AMOT Podcast.
Yeah, and I'm
on Twitter.
gonna-
The link will be in the show
Yeah, and
notes as
I'm
well.
gonna put a link on our website, guys. So like, if you're listening to this, jump over to our page if you know where that is, and I'll put a link there as well.
tinyurl.com/genrebot
there you go.
to find all the links.
I was telling Adam before the podcast started, like, I've listened to a couple Matter of Taste episodes for stuff I haven't seen, and it's still pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, no, it's good. No,
Cool.
I've guessed
All
it
right.
on there a couple times,
to hear.
2 times, and
Yes, Vic is. We had Vic on for the Hannibal finale, horror video
Constantine.
games.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah,
horror
and then
video
and then
games?
twice for Constantine. So,
Yes, twice
Nice.
for Constantine.
Nice.
all right,
All right, so awesome. And finally, our top genre for next week.
Yes.
Andrew.
Okay,
Oh,
so
boy.
it's well known that this season of GenreBot, like, I realized season 1 there was a lot of sci-fi stuff. So season 2, we've been focusing a little more on realistic fiction, but also fantasy.
Yes.
Yeah. So, my
Yes.
genre, in that spirit, because we've been doing so much of that, And to cap it all off, and as we move into our season finale, the fantasy episode that I chose is Alien Invasion.
Oh, man.
Oh, they're coming in.
I ruined it. I ruined the train of fantasy. Sci-fi.
That's fine.
Great podcast for nerds. I'm loving it.
Oh, a Western
We
isn't
started the
fantasy,
season with
though.
sci-fi, we're ending with sci-fi.
That's true.
So what you're saying is next episode you're going to do a movie adaptation of the Animorph series,
Yes,
right?
definitely.
Nice. That would be
Me and
cool.
Ian are the only people who have
Ian, you
ever
guessed it for
seen
the wrong
Animorphs.
episode.
Okay, so tune in next time to hear our Alien Invasion
We
genre.
actually have-
And
We've surprisingly not
Yep.
touched on aliens like at all, and we've done a ton of sci-fi.
good time for it.
Yeah.
True.
But until then, make sure you turn off your light at nights so your neighbors can't see you commit murder in your
Nice.
window.
Rookie mistake.
Thank you for reminding me. I was. Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Oh,
I'll leave it at
this
that.
night could have
Okay.
gone differently.
This could have gone very differently.
All right, bye everyone.
All right.
You can cut that part out, right?
All right. See you later.
Good night.
Recording.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here.
Ian, you good?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Come on in, gentlemen. I'm glad you all joined me here today.
Well, thanks.
Oh,
Well, gee, thanks, Adam. It's really great. Am I doing Jimmy Stewart or Chris
you know,
Walken?
I was 2 seconds away from doing a James Stewart's character. Just
Let's
2
all
seconds.
just do James
So
Stewart.
as you can see,
I was trying to
Oh,
remember
oh,
Anthony. What was his name?
Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Perkins. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, as you can see, there's this the table here, brand new table, nothing out of the ordinary with it, just a regular table.
Gee, it sure seems that way. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy, huh? Putting a regular table there like that. What are you thinking? It's just it's not very normal, is
Wait, I don't understand this
It's not
table,
filled with-
Clarence. That table was a chair yesterday.
it? We're not doing well with this.
I feel like this is really. I feel like this
Okay,
is a very
no.
well-conceived bit.
I think I get the no. I'm gonna steer us back on course. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm
all
ready.
right. No, back in character. So, I like this table. It's very nice. But why exactly are we talking about your table here?
Well, as you can see, hides knife behind back. There's been a change of pace with the fortune.
The what?
Huh?
The fortune.
Yes.
Oh.
That was some suspense. I added
like
for,
the
for
fortune
deep
of money,
effect.
not like fortune like
yes.
fate. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I have
We
no-
all went to the wrong place.
How did
Yeah.
I
that?
went there too.
That makes a lot more sense.
oh man. All right, you know what? I have a new bit.
Yeah.
I have a new bit.
That was myself.
Now here we go.
Why
get
didn't
out
you
of it.
stab
Here we go.
everyone else first? I would.
All right,
wow.
so here's
That-
the new bit.
That was a train. wreck.
Okay.
So Adam and I, it all started with, we said we were going to actually have a movie night to get ready for Andrew's character description before they say done and turn off the episode.
I haven't said anything for this whole
Right,
opening
yes.
bit. I'm hoping they just think that Ian is new Andrew.
Nice.
Hi, I'm New Andrew.
He can pull it off. Watch.
How are you doing, old Vic and old Adam?
I'm doing just fine, sitting here in my regular apartment.
Yes.
Nothing out of the ordinary
Hi,
whatsoever.
I'm new Vic.
Hey, so I just got a new kitchen table, but why don't we all go eat on top of this chest?
What?
Oh, that's a weird place
are
to
we?
eat.
Yeah, I know.
I am so lost right now, so I guess I'm watching a Hitchcock movie.
That was a rope reference. Okay, that's good. We're good. We're in.
All right,
let's
Andrew,
finish
I
this.
trust you'll find a bit in
I
there.
think
The funny-
we got
the-
I think we got enough opening bits for our next 10 episodes.
Now, the funny thing, Ian, is that actually went way better than most of our opening bits.
Oh my
No, it
goodness.
didn't actually. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm still confused as to what's going on
let's
right
do
now.
an actual
All right,
opening bit.
let's take
do
it from the top.
Okay,
as
actual
in-
opening bit this time. Here we go.
No,
I'll
no,
start
we
off.
did
All
it.
right, no.
No.
Here we go. Here we
Oh
go.
my
Okay.
god.
Hey guys, I have a mysterious box. Why don't you try and open it?
Well, okay, I'm going to open it very slowly, though, to increase the suspense.
Oh, great point. Because
Oh, this Andrew, he likes his tricks over here.
This is a box of suspense.
Okay, here we go.
Ow.
Surprise! It's lions.
I am Ian Doherty, and this is Ian Doherty Presents Genre Bot.
Nice. All right, I think, I'm with Andrew. We have 5 bits in there. We need to get started. Go ahead, Adam. Shh, stop.
I got it. Hey, everyone, you listen to Genre Bot, the group writing machine. I'm Adam.